From a piece of 21 hectares of reclaimed land, the center was built in 1966, a legacy left by the late national artist for architecture, Leandro V. Locsin, designed after a giant wave about to break, whose curves are sustained with a massive brace curling upward to a crest. Finally, on September 8, 1969, the CCP was finished, inaugurated, and stood proud along Rojas Boulevard. Special guests of honor were then California Governor, who eventually became U.S. President, Ronald Reagan, and wife Nancy. Starting a 3-month-long inaugural festival opened by the musical Golden Salakot, Isang Dularawan, an epic portrayal of Panay Island, as its initial presentation held at the main theater. The tour, may we request everybody to refrain from touching any part of the artworks for preservation purposes. Have an educational, pleasurable morning. This building houses 3 performance venues, an audiovisual room, 4 exhibition halls, 2 galleries, all named after great Filipino artists. I will now take you around the center. We are now at the lobby of our experimental studio theater, highlighted by a work of the Paite woodcarvers after the painting of national artist for visual arts, Carlos Botong Francisco, entitled The Abuses of the Spanish Authorities. It's about the cruelty of Spain over the Philippines for 333 years, from 1565 to 1898. The original painting is now on display at the office of the City Mayor of Manila. This experimental studio theater is also known as the Tanghalang Hussein Batute, THB for short. It was named after the king of Balagtasan, Jose Corazon de Jesus' pseudonym, whose real name is Jose Cecilio Ramon Augusto Pangilinan de Jesus. He was one of Philippines' greatest poets, as he had written thousands of poems and other literary pieces such as Bayan Ko. The venue is designed for experimental productions and features a portable stage. As such, audience capacity is variable depending on the size or area of the stage or acting area. Being the CCP's smallest performance venue, its maximum capacity is 240 audiences. Divided into 2 levels, the upper level or the gallery can accommodate 60 persons, while the lower level or the studio has 180 seating capacity. The seating capacity varies depending on the requirement of the production. The lone dressing room, which can accommodate 5 persons at a time, is situated at the lower studio level, leading to the buffeteria or the CCP's canteen. The space where the cafeteria is located was once part of the theater when THB was still known as Bulwagang Gantimpala. It was then the performance venue of Gantimpala Theater Foundation's award-winning pieces of that era's budding playwrights. Also known as the Black Box for obvious reasons, THB may not look as glamorous as the other theater venues that we have at the CCP. But nevertheless, its best feature of providing intimacy both to the performer and the viewer is definitely unparalleled. This is the CCP box office, where you can buy or reserve tickets for shows and events. Another box office is located at the main theater lobby, which is open every time there is a main theater show. On Tuesdays to Fridays, its regular serving hours are from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. However, if there are evening performances, its opening is extended until the end of the interval. The metal sculpture hanging Seen on the ceiling of this entrance is an artwork entitled The Confetti by Honrado Fernandez, a former executive director of the Philippine High School for the Arts. We are now at the Little Theater Lobby, also called the Bulwagang Carlos Botong Francisco, after one of our national artists for visual arts and a popular muralist from Angono, Rizal. The CCP logo is also among his legacies. The logo was derived from baybayin, arranged in a self-contained triangle to form a modern abstract symbol of the three-letter Ks, which stands for katotohanan, kagandahan, at kabutihan, or the truth, the beauty, and the goodness, words that best describe the imbibing mission of the center. Aside from being an area where our guests, audiences converge before, during intervals, and after performances, the lobby may also be used for cocktail receptions, exhibitions, and fora. In here, you will see a cut and welded stainless steel, an untitled work by Eduardo Castrillo in 1970. Castrillo is among the recipients of the CCP 13 Artists Awards. Also included in his roster of achievements are public sculptures for memorial parks like the Pieta and the Redemption, and public monuments such as the Spirit of Pinaglabanan in San Juan, Metro Manila. This is an artwork by Arturo Di Mayuga Luz, who was conferred National Artist in 1997. According to a book entitled Arturo Luz by Sid Reyes, Locsin commissioned Luz for artworks at the CCP. In preparing this large mural, Luz learned what he had learned in his unsuccessful artwork in Rizal Theater. He learned that he should have a study and more preparation in preparing mural paintings. As a result, he used several wood panels, which served as the canvas of his artwork. Luz divided 6 areas. He used black and white, automotive lacquer, animated by simple patterns, and forms a dynamic realization of positive and negative space. Some of his huge abstracts may also be found at the Philippine International Convention Center, or PICC, and at the Sofitel Philippine Plaza. Another permanent exhibit that we have in CCP is this untitled painting by Cesar Legazpi, which he made in 1969. You may call this abstract painting triptych because it is composed of 3 panels linked together. Since Locsin is known for being a poet of space, the wall that you see is used for exhibition and serves as one of the changing exhibit areas here in the lobby. This is the Tanghalang Manuel Conde, also known as the Audiovisual Room, named in honor of the late national artist for film Manuel Conde, or Manuel Pabustan Urbano in real life, a leading figure in Philippine cinema. He was not merely an actor, but a director and producer as well. He directed Genghis Khan, the first Filipino film distributed worldwide by United Artists in the 1952 Venice Film Festival, where it was critically acclaimed. He was best remembered for his Juan Tamad series, in which he starred and directed. After it undergone a renovation of the seats and its technical facilities, it was relaunched as the CCP Dream Theater on February 26, 2003, in partnership with a Dream satellite company owned by Mr. Antonio Tonyboy Cojuangco. From the previously 150, it can now accommodate a total of 100 guests. It undergone another seats renovation in 2018, courtesy of Magsi Metal and Wood Industries. The theater is ideal for films and video screenings, occasionally also used for lecture forum, seminar, or small conferences. This is the Tanghalang Aurelio Tolentino, more commonly known as the Little Theater. It was launched on August 24, 1971. The first show that graced the opening of the Munting Dulaan was entitled Onyx Wolf, or Itim Asu, by Virginia Moreno, sister of renowned fashion designer Pitoy Moreno. This theater was named after a great Filipino playwright and dramatist who lived at the end of the country's Spanish era, Aurelio Tolentino. Tolentino wrote his most celebrated masterpiece, Kahapon, Ngayon at Bukas, in 1903, in the midst of the celebration for the Declaration of Philippine Independence by the Americans in Kawit, Cavite. Most of his pieces depict his interest for our liberation from colonizers. A conventional proscenium stage, the Little Theater is designed for drama, chamber music, solo recitals, lectures, and film screenings. The theater can accommodate 413 guests. The stage floor is made of Philippine mahogany wood, stained with a matte black finish, a species characterized for its sturdiness and huge size, thus in demand for outsized planking and decks. The stage curtain is a tapestry made in Kyoto, Japan, based on the painting of Roberto Chabet, former director of CCP Museum. Chabet was also the head behind the conceptualization of the CCP 13 Artists Awards program established in 1970. If you notice the monochromatic blending of the carpet from yellow to red, it simply tells us that you are headed towards a more grandiose part of the building, which is the main theater. Red is said to be the color of royalty, and that, as mentioned earlier regarding the cultural purpose of the building, it just simply says, a warm welcome to the House of Art. On July 7, 2004, the CCP welcomed another addition to its permanent exhibits, a mural painting by Roberto Villanueva entitled Pitong Sining, which he made in Baguio City in November of 1990. Gracing our main theater lobby are three giant chandeliers, which they say represent the three main islands of the Philippines, namely Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. These chandeliers are made up of Capiz shells and Viennese crystal prisms. Since its fabrication and installation in 1969 by Palayan Lamps, it was only in 2016 that the said chandeliers were restored to its original luminance. The chandelier is also equipped with a dimmer system located at the courtesy counter for operational purposes. Here at the lobby, you can have a wide view of the fountain, which is simultaneously turned on during performances at the main theater. Also in the lobby are escalators, the elevators, and a grand staircase that lead guests to the different sections of the main theater. The box office, courtesy counter, snack bars, reception desks, and on occasion, promotional counters are operational during performances. Same as the Little Theater lobby, aside from being an area where guests or audiences converge before and after performances, this lobby may also be used for sit-down receptions, exhibitions, and other events. This is the Tanghalang Nicanor Abelardo, more commonly known as the Main Theater. It is named after the father of Philippine sonata. He became the first Filipino to compose a piano and orchestra concerto in B-flat minor. Among his immortal compositions are Nasaan Ka Irog, Kundi Man ang Luha, Mutya ng Pasig, and Ave Maria. The Main Theater has 4 levels: the orchestra, boxes, balcony 1 and 2. This theater can accommodate a total of 1,815 guests. Upon entering the orchestra section, audiences are greeted by a brass sculpture entitled Tribute to Seven Arts by Vicente Manansala, a national artist for visual arts. Manansala is also a noted painter and muralist. The main theater is equipped to meet the requirements of large theater productions such as ballets, operas, symphonic, and other musicals. To date, some of the biggest productions ever staged here at the CCP Main Theater were Miss Saigon in 2000, The Phantom of the Opera in 2012, and Wicked in 2014. Acoustical shells are easily assembled for orchestral and choral performances. It is usually used for the sound to reverberate, going to the auditorium area only. The theater also features a split orchestra lift and a brilliant tapestry curtain patterned after the Genesis, painting of the late national artist Hernando Ocampo. When Ocampo started working on Genesis, he had no definite concept in mind until his brush led him to execute fish-like objects, abstract and multiple images of human figures, flames, and vertebra in vanishing points, expressing unity, coherence, and emphasis, the elements which are the binding principles of any Ocampo work. The stage floor is also made of Philippine mahogany wood. The stage manager's console is on stage right, while the fly gallery and equipment controls are on stage left. Unlike in the little theater, the main theater's set pieces can be flown upward, which means ceiling space is 1.5 times the height of the drop or proscenium opening. The boxes section, parterre, upper, and lower boxes of the main theater is the main composition of the second floor. Parterre is the section in between the orchestra and the balconies. What is so special about the boxes section is that, as it is called, seats are separated by 6 on different boxes. The Parterre 25 is reserved for the President of the Republic of the Philippines, while on its right side, which is the Parterre 23, is for the Vice President whenever they are in attendance. The foyer of the Parterre box section also has its own VIP lounge, serving as a holding area for the President. Another permanent exhibit that we have in CCP is a sculpture entitled Dancers, or Magkasintahan sa Buhay at Sayaw by national artist for visual arts Napoleon Abueva. Models for the sculpture are prima ballerina Edna Vida and Nansur Nonoy Froilan, both former members of Ballet Philippines, one of CCP's resident companies. As what the title implies, the models of this artwork are partners in dance and in real life. As mentioned earlier, Locsin is known for being the poet of space. He designed the theater in such a way that all the spaces, including hallways, are maximized. So this area where we are right now is called Pasillo Vicente Silva Manansala, a venue for exchanging exhibits and cocktail receptions. Manansala, or Mang Enteng to his colleagues, is a noted painter from Macabebe, Pampanga. Still of the main theater, the Balcony 1 section, which can seat a total of 390 guests, can be found on this level. The hallway is used to exhibit works of both Filipino and foreign artists. It is named after the national artist for sculpture, Guillermo Tolentino, known mentor of national artist Napoleon Abueva. Tolentino was acclaimed for his creation of the pains and triumphs of the Philippine Revolution in his Bonifacio Monument located in Caloocan, and the University of the Philippines' Oblation. Modeled by Fernando Poe Sr., the father of the King of Philippine cinema, also a national artist for film, Fernando Poe Jr. On the right end of the hallway is the CCP Library, an excellent repository of book and non-book materials with adequate facilities for reading, viewing, and listening. We can also find audiovisual recordings of all CCP performances, which are available for public viewing at a minimal cost. The library is open from Tuesday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The main gallery is named after Juan Novicio Luna from Badoc, Ilocos Norte, an illustrious painter of the Spanish period who astounded Europe with his works. He won his first gold medal at the prestigious Madrid Exposition in 1884 with his Spoliarium. The painting, which is currently exhibited at the National Museum in Manila, gives us a picture of the upshot of an early Roman practice of gladiatorial fight as a form of public entertainment. Spoliarium was the name given to the basement hall of Roman Colosseum, where dying and dead gladiators were despoiled or stripped of their belongings, where friends and relatives claimed their bodies and those abandoned put to the torch. The gallery is open for viewing from Tuesdays to Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and until 9 p.m. when there is an ongoing evening performance at the main theater. The gallery offers a year-round program of survey and retrospective painting, sculpture, print, and photography exhibit. The uppermost section of the main theater can be found on the 4th floor. Balcony 2 can accommodate a total of 392 guests. The 4th floor hallway is named after Victorio Edades, a national artist for visual arts and also considered as the father of Philippine modern art. With other colleagues, he founded the Atelier Modern Art in 1934, where teaching art is taboo. Instead, they guide their students along with their particular expression of the best that is in them. From here, the first group of modern artists came to be known as the 13 Moderns. Each month features panoramic works as well as works on paper and photo exhibits. This glass enclosed area is called atrium. We have atrium right and left, both used as changing exhibit area at times.